patient undergoes emergency surgery thanks Taichung Tzu Chi medical team for saving his life. Tzu Chi volunteers from 11 countries distribute winter clothing to refugees in Serbia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. Continuing her island-wide tour, DaAi Master Zheng Yan has arrived at the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital. While there, a patient who faced impermanence head-on due to suffering from heart failure expressed his gratitude to the master and the medical team. When 61-year-old Mr. Yu walked into the meeting room, people gave him a round of applause. Not long ago, he had a narrow escape from death.
Dr. Xie Sirong and the medical team saved my life. Therefore, I'm forever grateful to the master and the Tzu Chi Hospital's incredible medical team.
Looking at the X-ray films, one can see that Mr. Yu suffered from heart failure, directly threatening his life.
This is the size of his heart, while the other one is my heart. You can see there's a big difference. A normal heart should be only this big.
The emergency surgery performed saved Mr. Yu's life. His wife, Huang Enning, who often volunteers at the hospital, wrote a letter to express her gratitude to the medical staff.
It is hard for us to express our gratitude for the doctors directly. Therefore, I thought through writing a letter, it might be better worded.
Another doctor, Yu Zhenzhan, has also saved lives with his outstanding medical skills. Since last year, he has treated many patients with large tumors in the abdomen area, including a cancer patient with a large 21-centimeter liver tumor.
This particular surgery was added at the last minute. Since the tumor was severe, immediate treatment was needed. Therefore, we decided to add this surgery to the schedule.
Besides saving patients' lives, Dr. Yu is also good at playing the guitar. At the meeting with DaAi Master Zheng Yan, the attendees appreciated each other while listening to Dr. Yu's heartfelt performance. Taichung Tzu Chi Nursing Home has been established for 5 years now, and there are many touching stories. Liang Yixin, who was the head nurse at the nursing home, suffered from a heart attack last year and is still undergoing treatment. When DaAi Master Zheng Yan visited the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, she gave Liang her blessings and words of encouragement. Despite having a tracheotomy and a nasogastric tube in place, Liang Yixin still dresses neatly to attend a year-end blessing ceremony with her husband. Although she cannot perform on stage, she still does all the sign language gestures off stage, more determined than ever. 49-year-old Liang Yixin used to be the head nurse at the Taichung Tzu Chi nursing home. Unfortunately, she suffered from a heart attack in September of last year and is still undergoing treatment for her brain injuries.
Of course, it was a big challenge. Fortunately, since she has been carrying out Tzu Chi's work, she has formed many positive affinities with a lot of people. Many Tzu Chi volunteers and DaAi Master Zheng Yan herself have delivered their best wishes for her.
Liang has been doing rehabilitation diligently in order to attend the year-end blessing ceremony. Upon seeing the master, she tried her best to stand up. The master gave her a red envelope of wisdom and blessings and encouraged her.
Hey, 加油！加油！加油！赶紧加入工作。
Taichung Tzu Chi Nursing Home has been established for 5 years now. Among the residents, 69-year-old Abao is bedridden due to a car accident. The nursing home staff has been trying to reconnect him and his younger brother. They also bathe him regularly in order to make him feel more comfortable.
Love can bring about wonders. Originally, Abao's feet were shriveled and tight. They were like frog legs. However, after we regularly cared for him, his limbs started to relax.
The nursing home staff treats the residents like it's their own family members. They accompany them with love and care, hoping they enjoy life to the fullest. Cho Chen Meijiao, who lives in Taipei, worked very hard when she was young. However, when she was 60 years old, she suffered from a brain illness. Then she met city volunteers who advised her to relax a bit. Now at 74 years old, she enjoys volunteering, and the illness does not bother her anymore.
跟我先生在53年结婚。 My husband and I were married in 1964. Shortly after the marriage, he said he wanted to open an auto repair shop. I had worked in shops run by the government, so put in a tender offer. After we got it, we worked very hard and we were very busy. This has been my life, but when I was 60 years old, I collapsed.
到后来60岁，咵倒下去了。一开始的时候，就是从我的脑部，
When it began, I suffered from serious nausea. My head felt it was tied up, and I would feel dizzy. I couldn't eat because I would throw up. Eventually, the gallbladder too. The doctor asked me why I suffered terribly. I told him that sometimes I would take Western medicine and sometimes Chinese medicine. No medicines could cure my problems. It was worse than death, and it was very painful.
所以我就一直这样子，真的那个时候是生不如死啊，很痛苦，很痛苦。
When Sister Gochen came to see me, I wasn't feeling well. Then she told me,
Mei Zhao, you've been working non-stop, so you've been making a lot of money, but you've also ignored your health. Our master once told us we should fill our cup 80% full. If we keep on filling it, it will overflow. Then it will be disastrous.
What the masters say is quite logical, because the overflowing parts are wasted. We should simply eat 80% or 70% full and give the remaining part to others to help them. The master says it all the time. I feel this is reasonable, so I've been making donations since then. After I joined Tzu Chi, I became a team member and we will help each other with work. And I started volunteering. I am happy that I don't feel pain anymore. When I am in a study group, I write down the main points with a pencil when I feel it's meaningful to me. When the teacher is talking, I'll be writing down notes continuously, and it makes me feel very proud and content. So I tell my son often that I can write so much in the study group. I only finished elementary school, but I use my way to combine the notes together after I go home. Perhaps only me and no one else can understand it.
结合在一起啊，也许我看得懂，别人看不懂。进入慈济以后，我心里头就
After I joined Tzu Chi, I've been able to open my heart. Since this is the way of life and the law of nature, we shouldn't worry those matters. We should strive bravely with our strength. The more we walk, the better our blood can circulate, and I can have the courage to get rid of the illness.
When people get older, they often hope they can stay healthy and feel at ease. There's one person who's able to do this, and she's Tzu Chi volunteer Du Zhang Yaozhen, or Mommy Du. Her husband Du Shimian was the first superintendent of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital. Mommy Du now serves as a medical volunteer and also a translator for Tzu Chi Japanese Monthly.
会当做会紧做，做一天就是赚一天，所以我足欢喜，就继续一直咧做。
Du Zhang Yaozhen wakes up when the day breaks. For 20 years, she has been translating for Tzu Chi Japanese Monthly.
In the past, I could continue without stopping, but now I must use an eye drop every 15 minutes or 2 pages. The Japanese Monthly has published 257 issues.
She was called Madame Du or Mrs. Du because her husband Du Shimian was the first superintendent of Tzu Chi Hualien Hospital. He gave up his position as the deputy superintendent of Taiwan University Hospital and went to serve in Hualien, even though he was suffering from final stage liver cancer.
My husband had liver cancer, but he still went to work in Tzu Chi to contribute to society. No matter what, I was always by his side to support him. He had to travel between Taipei and Hualien constantly, so I was worrying about his health. Since he had to run back and forth, the master was also concerned about his health. I was worrying, but he felt valuable about it. The master also blessed him too.
我爸刚往生的那个时候，他都一直走不出来。
When my father just passed away, she couldn't walk out from the grief. The master was very wise by asking my mom to take charge of Japanese translation so she wouldn't be so upset. And slowly they formed a study group to discuss the translation. They met from 9 to 12 every morning, and people started calling her principal as the head of the study group. She treats it as her responsibility because the master entrusted it to her.
We want to spread the master's teaching around the world. These elderly translation volunteers have passed away one by one, so we are training young people who are learning diligently. He answered with a smile that I'm now retired, so if I don't move around, one word is missing here, okay?
笑顔で答えた。退職したら体を動かさないとね。動かない。さが一つしない。
When her husband passed away in 1989, Du Zhang Yaozhen turned her tears into love by volunteering at the hospice and palliative care of Taiwan University Hospital.
If this medical treatment had been available while my husband was alive, he wouldn't have suffered much pain. Then after he died, I felt that if Taiwan had this kind of palliative treatment, I want to volunteer here. We now serve tea to patients' family every morning because we want to give them some consolation and warmth to the patients. There was an elderly female patient, and one sister and I bathed for her. While we were bathing her, she just passed away. I wasn't her family, but when a patient can pass away peacefully this way, it brings me peace too. I can't remember how old I am. I only know that I was born on February 15, 1927. They all call me Mom, and it sounds very endearing.
It's a blessing to allow the patients to die in peace, and Mommy Du has been exhibiting this kind of spirit. She is the best. We give her 100 likes.
She's my role model, so I also expect myself that when I'm 90 years old, I can be as healthy and spirited as she is, so I can volunteer. I love to do it.
The grief that her life could not bear has all gone away like cloud. She now lives like a floating cloud.
I can understand what Master meant by being at ease.
It is the fourth year that city volunteers have been spreading love and warmth to refugees in Serbia. This year, volunteers from 11 countries have distributed 670 pieces of winter clothing to refugees at the Obrenovic refugee camp.
Every morning, give tea for people, not jackets, not shoes. I feel sad for these people.
The snow is like a pure white blanket covering up the land. Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the Obrenovac refugee camp in Serbia, delivering warmth in this frigid winter. The temperature here is 3 degrees below zero. It's even lower for the apparent temperature. Many people only wear slippers or even t-shirts.
From Iran, Afghanistan, and other countries, and the weather is in here too cold. And I had only this one pair of clothes. So sometimes I just, whenever it gets dirty, so I should buy, I have no money to buy from any class another. And I have to borrow another class from my friends just for one day to wash this and make this clean.
In order to not let the refugees wait too long in the cold weather, Tzu Chi volunteers and the refugee committee quickly arranged the distribution supplies at the venue.
Thanks. Thank you.
As some people couldn't wait any longer, they immediately changed into new clothes that they have received.
It's true.
You like it?
Yes, I like it.
While putting on warm clothes, the worries upon their faces have disappeared as well. In addition, they've invited the volunteers to their overcrowded room. We can see the room was full of people. Some people even have to sleep on the ground. The quilt was ripped and mildewed, but more importantly, all of them miss their home.
Too much people and stay here. It's too much cold. You know, but it's not have water, but now water is good.
The war had torn them apart from their family members, and all of them are facing daily struggles in their current lives as refugees. Therefore, the volunteers came in time to provide love and care.
European the people in coming to here, and another country people is coming to here, but everybody too much happy. Look at in the face and everybody. I'm serious, I'm proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
They need to see our support through tough times, and I think they have seen it. I could have seen it in their eyes that they are happy with what we gave them.
Many refugees experience unbelievable hardship as they are forced to flee their homes. The volunteers brought joy and love into their world, helping them to escape from hate and sorrow.
In Serbia, after distributing winter clothing to refugees at Obrenovic refugee camp, Tzu Chi volunteers have held a year-end blessing ceremony. This year, in addition to Tzu Chi volunteers from Europe, volunteers from Asia also help out at the event. The festivities of the New Year have been brought to Obrenovic refugee camp in Serbia. This is the annual gathering of Tzu Chi volunteers and refugees. Although the refugees come and go, the volunteers still come to deliver love. In the past, there were only volunteers from Europe. However, this year, more than 30 volunteers have come from 11 countries.
This morning, you have the new clothing. All the money is coming from the small bank. And the small bank is coming from few cents, 1 cent, $1 from many people.
The volunteers explained that Tzu Chi started with donors saving up small amount of donations. Many refugees have been deeply touched. Although they might not have much money on them, they still happily made the donations.
Thank you for those people. You did not see them, and you see only us, all these volunteers only, but still thousands, 10,000 people behind, they are care about you.
Then the highlight of the event comes as everyone sings the English version of We Are Family.
Thankful for the opportunity to show them the effort or the range of effort of Tzu Chi in Serbia. I feel very happy with the opportunity of Tzu Chi to provide hope and blessing for everybody in this camp.
After receiving the red envelopes and gifts from Tzu Chi volunteers, the refugees also look forward to their life in this foreign country in the new year. In Malaysia, a Tzu Chi care recipient married a man who loved to gamble. Therefore, she faced many financial difficulties due to his bad habits. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, he was involved in a motorcycle accident, which left him in a persistent vegetative state. Even though they were already divorced, she has turned hate into great love. Without any regrets, she has taken on the responsibilities of taking care of her ex-husband. Her compassionate heart has touched many Tzu Chi volunteers.
这位是我先生呢，叫胡业龙 ，Joshua， 他今年52岁。
This is my husband. His name is George Fu. He's 52 years old. He had an accident 2 years ago and has been in a vegetative state ever since then.
就是他每次咳嗽都会这样的反应。
This is his normal reaction every time he coughs. If he coughs, I will need to help him, like this.
打他。有一段时间他是就还好赌气。
He used to gamble a lot. He would take my passport and borrow money from loan sharks. At that time, I really hated him so much. I thought, why isn't he working? Why is it only me working? Why am I the only one taking care of this family? When the loan sharks would come after him for payments, he would take my hard-earned money to pay them. If I don't give him the money, he would beat me. I was under a lot of physical and mental stress at the time, which resulted in me attempting to commit suicide.
那时候我没有想到什么生活好不好，只是想到我的孩子没有人照顾。
At that time, I didn't care if life was good or not. My only concern was that no one was going to take care of my children. Therefore, I had made up my mind and filed for divorce. Not long after, he got into an accident while he was riding his motorcycle. He was trying to avoid hitting a dog and fell and hit his head. Even though I had no more legal obligations to him, I still felt guilty. I felt like he had gotten into the accident intentionally so that he could be with me.
好像是他在故意弄伤他自己，要跟我在一起。
兰香，兰香在吗？
哎，进来。谢谢你自己做的吗？
没有。
哦，是
我自己买的。
谢谢你啊，感恩感恩。不知道哦。虽然是他已经遭遇到这样的事情。
Even though she went through a lot with him, she didn't give him the cold shoulder when he got injured. She knows that he doesn't have any other family members to rely on. So if she doesn't take care of him, who else is going to? She has a very compassionate heart. That's why she has taken on the responsibility of caring for him.
Nothing can be difficult when our heart perceives no difficulties. She really has overcome all sorts of difficulties. After the whole situation was sorted, she finally became more open-minded. Although she has encountered many life's difficulties, she has come out on top. Going through the various hardships has made her life shine brighter than ever. An enterprise in Taiwan has held a science camp for people and their grandchildren. The camp activities included experiments that transform daily supplies into science projects. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.